Hey everybody, welcome to Process Server and Messenger. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, or whatever it is you do, wherever and however you watch the show. Also, I got up here, let's see if this little fade works. Boom. www.surfct.net and my Patreon, www.patreon.com/processserverandmessenger. The first website, surfct.net, is my website if you need something served, especially to registered agents like LegalZoom and CT Corp. And then at the bottom there, you got the Patreon link, which is where I put extra bonus content and footage and cool, fun stuff for you to enjoy. And go ahead and check it out. It's a good time. All right, everybody. Thanks. Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to Process Server and Messenger. I am Nick, and today is a kind of a gloomy, cloudy Monday. I woke up early and attempted to serve a couple people this morning. A lot of clouds out here in LA. It's been a little bit rainy, a little bit gloomy for a change. So, but traffic was all right. Traffic's always all right if you can wake up in the morning and kind of beat the rush hour commute and the early morning traffic. So I was able to do that. And now I'm back here happily recording. Wasn't able to serve who I was trying to serve. But, you know, I'll try again later. I wanted to talk today about something my wife had recommended, which is, excuse me, talking about certain things that when you're a process server that maybe you do, maybe habits you do, maybe stuff you've picked up along the way, you don't even think about anymore. You just kind of, things like parking. That was one of them we were talking about. And I had mentioned to her how when I'm serving a business or a person, it doesn't matter if I'm going to a business location or shopping center even or anything like that. I prefer not parking in parking lots. If I can get a parking spot on the street, or a meter is great. A meter is always great. I always have quarters with me, and anytime I can, I'm parking at a meter or on the street. Now, if I'm picking up from boxes from a client and I'm taking it to the courthouse, and that's different. I'm not talking about someone who knows I'm coming and, you know, more of a messenger delivery job. I'm talking about when I'm pulling up to a business and I'm serving a business entity, or I'm serving a doctor, I'm serving a person who's at their business, place of business or work. I don't know, never, but I would say maybe never park in the lot. Even if it's free parking or no matter what, I'm always going to try to find parking on the street. I don't want to be stuck behind a gate. I don't want to be serving somebody who doesn't want to get served, and next thing I know, I can't leave the parking lot, or I don't want to be trying to leave quickly and there's a line of cars. I don't want to be delayed. I basically want to serve somebody, hit them with the paperwork, and then just kind of scoot out of there quickly, quietly. And if I got a parking spot on the street somewhere, I know I can just get in my car and pull away, no problem. Also, I don't know if this has ever happened really. It did happen once, but where if you're not parked in their parking lot, sometimes somebody might come out to follow you to see who you are, to see what's happening. And if I was parked on the street this one time and a security guard from the building tried to kind of follow me and see where I was parked and see well, I don't really even know. Sometimes people, you serve them and they're just confused. They don't know what to do. And they want to take a picture of you, or they want to like ask who you are. And, you know, it's like, you can always check the proof of service. My name and information is going to be on there for sure. But I don't even know what you're trying to do. I think people sometimes they get served and they just don't know what to do, get confused, and they think, well, who is this guy? And so if you're parked on the street, or when I was parked on the street that one time, I was able to they don't know which one your car is. They didn't see you pull up. So I just kind of saw that security guard looking at me and noticing where I was going. I walked past my car. I walked around the corner. I just made a block and kind of walked around for a bit. And then after a minute or two, went back to my car. And I don't think that guy was paying attention to me at that point. But I don't know. I've never really had a situation that I can remember distinctly where someone followed me to my car and I had to make some great escape. Actually, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times. But anyway, I'll talk about those later. It's rare. A lot of times I'm able to use my experience to. It's just a priority for me to get in there and get out of there discreetly and quickly and politely. And I always try to tell people exactly what I'm doing and who I am, and as few words as possible. Make it clear the name of the person I'm serving and what I got for them, and get out of there and then kind of walk away quickly while they're looking at the paperwork. Sometimes you give them the paperwork and they'll have it in their hand like that, and while they're looking down, I'm out. There's been a couple of times where that was important and that really helped me out. But even it just makes me feel better to kind of be able to scoot out of there quickly. I always try to park my car in a place where I know, like if there's a cul-de-sac, I'm not facing the turnaround portion. I'm facing the part where I can just get in my car and scoot away. I'm always kind of picky about where I park, and I don't mind parking somewhere that's a little bit farther, and if I have to walk a little bit, that's fine with me. I was telling my wife that's a nice way to get your steps in for the day, a little bit of exercise, maybe park down the street a little bit and walk. It could be different if you're in a neighborhood and you're serving someone in a neighborhood. You maybe don't want to be kind of like walking around the neighborhood, but everyone's got different preferences or takes. And I do think that there are ways to serve a business or serve a residence that over time, like if I'm serving a residence, I don't park exactly right directly in front of the house. I might be 1 or 2 houses up, and up forward in the direction where I'm going to take off, not kind of back there. But I just kind of do that habitually, instinctually now. And, you never know when something like that's gonna matter. But also when you're in a residence, I guess you just got to play it by neighborhood, play it ear by ear, as they say. Just kind of take it as it goes, eyeball it, look at your surroundings and pay attention, because some neighborhoods you can park up the next block and walk back, and maybe there's other people walking around. It's kind of a neighborhood where people are walking dogs and exercising, and that's going to be fine. They're not going to look at you any different way. But sometimes you might be in a neighborhood where walking that extra block is going to cause attention. People are going to kind of be wondering who you are and what you're doing there. So anyway, a couple little tips that I can think of and things that I do to help make this easier. I'm going to start adding those to the recordings, to the podcast, and it's an idea my wife came up with, but I'm always kind of talking to her. When I come home, walking in the door, I'll say something, I'll make some comment, and she always remembers, and she reminded me of what I was talking to her about parking on the street or at a meter versus parking in a parking garage or a structure, a place where you might have to pay, or even if you don't have to pay. That's whatever, it's mostly about the efficiency of getting in and out of the place that you want to go and being aware of your surroundings. And after you serve a document, you get in your car and then you go. I like to take notes as I'm walking out, so I'll have a pen and paper with me at all time. So when I'm serving someone, I'll jot something down. The writing is usually pretty messy, but I used to maybe go into my car and sit down and take better notes, but not too long ago, I just decided and realized it felt better if I can take a note or write a note down there with my hand and a pen and paper as I'm leaving, kind of put that in my pocket and then get in my car and go. I can always, as long as it's within an hour or two, I can always kind of remember the name I wrote down or the time, even if the handwriting is sloppy. But I don't want to do it while I'm in the car right there, even though the memory's fresh and even though you want the most accurate description and the most accurate time and the most accurate everything. And if you serve someone, you get in your car and you sit down and you write that, it might feel like you're more organized than taking notes, and everyone can do what they want and what they feel is comfortable for them. But for me personally, I'm doing shorthand real quick. I'm getting in the car and I'm going, and then within an hour I'm going to pull over somewhere and kind of rewrite it and remember what I wrote and make it more legible so that when I record my notes later or send my emails, then it'll be accurate. But I'm not worried about sitting in my car doing that after I've served somebody. I'm not just sitting there taking notes like a sitting duck, I guess, as they say. So that's some, I don't know, thoughts, advice on parking when you're serving people. And as I think about more and as I write down more and as I complain more to my wife and she remembers and reminds me about the things I've complained about or noted or stated, I'll keep recording my thoughts. And I'm sure there's a wide range of thoughts on this and sort of thing. Other processor servers might do things way different. It's just based on your experience, I guess. It's what's worked for you. And I'll be sharing what's worked for me and what hasn't worked. Thank you. All right. Thanks for listening.